Ultimate Halo.
What's going on, guys? This is Fletch here on Ultimate Halo, and you are watching another Ultimate Halo podcast. This week featuring Late Night to Gaming, otherwise known as Taras. So say hello.
Oh, I was about to have some kind of clever opening, but then you put me on the spot.
I tend to do that with people. It never goes down well. All they have to do is just like an awkward...
Yeah, I know.
Hi, guys.
I was going to do something like, what's up? But then I was like, oh, no, that's too annoying. That's too annoying. I'm not going to do that.
I apologize. Anyway, so what we are going to do is go over your questions, and I'm actually going to steal Taras's intro that he normally does in his Q&A for this one.
Oh,
and
boy.
The rules are very simple. All you need to do is put Q&A in the description below, followed by your question, and you may get a chance of getting it appeared or featured in next week's episode. So with that in mind, let's get down to question number 1. Now, King David, I bow down to you, Sir King, and you said to me, and you asked the question, do you think 343 Industries should bring back Marty O'Donnell for Halo 6? I'll let you tackle this one first, Taras.
What? I feel so honored. It's the real King David. It's actually him. He made a YouTube channel. Really, it's up to Marty at the end of the day, because like I think a lot of like the Halo community says, oh, they should bring back like this person, and really, do they want to come back? You know, because it's not really like they've sold their soul to the Halo franchise. Kind of like I think of that really crappy Ghost Rider movie with Nicolas Cage, where it's just like, you've got to be the Ghost Rider now, and it's not, you know, your own will. So it's like, no, it's if Marty wants to come back to the Halo franchise, he's more than welcome to like submit, you know, a resume or something, or an application.
As if he needs to.
Yeah, as if he needs to. But I don't know. I have the feeling that Marty O'Donnell is sick of the Halo franchise and he just wants to move on.
And you got to sort of respect people's creative integrity, because at the end of the day, he doesn't want to be... It's like saying to me, do you want to be stuck in the same office all of your life? It's like, no, I want to expand, I want to do different things. Do I want to do Halo videos all my life? I mean, probably won't do videos all my life, but, you know, I want to do something different along the line. So, I mean, it'd be cool, but you got to realise that Kazuma Jinauchi does, in fact, make some fantastic Halo soundtracks. Yeah. And... I'm not saying he's better than Marty O'Donnell, because you just can't be... I mean, the reason Halo's soundtrack is that good in the first place is because Marty cemented such a thing in place. So I think anybody would say yes, but in reality, would it happen? Who knows? So we're going to move on to the next question.
Yeah,
okay.
It's also if I can just
touch
on it, one more thing. I also think like Marty O'Donnell, Joseph Staten, and like those types, I think they've kind of been in the business of dealing with kind of not so great corporations backing their games for so long that they just kind of want it to end. You know, they want the madness to end. Like, you know, Bungie was very vocal that they did not enjoy working with Microsoft on the Halo franchise. I can only imagine kind of like the headaches that a lot of that caused. And then jumping from Microsoft to Activision, who is arguably infinitely worse. You know, I think now it's like Marty O'Donnell, he's got his own independent studio. Joseph Staten, he's back at Microsoft, but it's kind of like he's not in charge of anything anymore. He's just kind of doing whatever at Microsoft. It's just like a quiet job.
Yeah, he's writing the story for Recall, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
it's just something nice. It's just something calm, like no drama, you know, from the studios. And so I think that's kind of how they want to keep it.
Yeah, no, I get that. So, anyway, we'll move on to the next question, and it's by Vanity Legend, and I need to stop putting your questions on this show, because it's just going to be purely you. You got a time last episode, so I'm keeping my eye on you. But anyway, it says, can you guys have Halo Canon, brackets Tour Freak, on a future episode? And I know it would be a repeat, but I would like to hear his response to my Brian Reed question. Well, Ian, Halo Canon, whatever you want to be called, if you're watching, which I know sometimes you do, don't shy away, message me on Twitter and we'll sort this shit out. Okay, so we're going to move on. We're going to move on to the next question.
I'd love to do a video with Ian from Halo Canon.
Well, he has us on Twitter.
It sounded so pathetic in hindsight. I'm just like, I wish I could be with Halo Canon.
I'm just so... I can't create content. I need him to give me a boost. Essentially try to steal his subscribers.
Yeah, I'll steal all his subscribers. Okay, this is starting to get weird.
Let's move on.
Let's move on.
So, the next one, and you'll know this guy pretty well, Taras, because he absolutely harasses your comment section. Well, I won't use the word harass, but anyway, it's Halo 2 Sniper Rifle.
Yeah, I love this guy. That's not even like a joke. I genuinely love this guy.
It says, who do you think is the dumbest character? And by that he means, dumb, and they have no intelligence, not written badly.
Oh, okay. Not like Fireteam Osiris, where they're just, none of them are written well.
No, well, so what I'm going to say, I kind of had to think about it, but I couldn't quite pinpoint a particular person. But I think Palmer's a bit of a dumb bitch. Whether it's... But the thing is, she has moments when she can be all right, and then all of a sudden she'll have this grudge against Halsey. It's like, and it makes no sense. I guess you could call it bad writing, but she is. I just want to punch the bitch in the face, and she'd probably kick my ass anyway. Well, she would. She's a Spartan, for Christ's sake.
Well, the thing is, like, with Palmer, I wouldn't call her an idiot, because it's like, okay, take the characters, the character of Palmer, and put her in the real world. Like, Palmer has an attitude, but she clearly is like a military personnel. Like, she knows what she's doing, she's well trained, she's a good soldier. So it's like, I can't really call her an idiot, because she's not literally stupid, like someone who would not be able to function in the real world. Like, get it? That's a hard question, because, like, I feel like there's no real genuine morons in the Halo series outside of just badly written characters.
Yeah.
Maybe Guilty Spark, because I don't think realistically Guilty Spark would have been able to maintain a Halo ring as long as he did. Yeah. Although he was obsessed with protocol and stuff, so I don't know, even that's hard to...
But that's kind of into his... It drilled into his sort of his consciousness. Yeah, he has to do that. That's
understanding how to take care of a Halo ring would be literally everything he knew.
Yeah, so it's a really tough one.
Try to think the dumbest character, like genuinely stupid.
Was there anything that's stupid that happened in the Halo games? Like anything you was like, what the fuck did he just do that for? Is there any of those kind of moments?
Anything Fireteam Osiris open their mouths. Buck, maybe? No, not even Buck. Although Buck from Halo 5 does a few dumb things. He seems a little bit slow mentally and physically. Like but even then, that's a stretch. Yeah, that's a stretch, because, like, I know Buck from Halo 5 and Buck from ODST are two very different characters. Yeah. I think you and I have discussed before. They're not exactly the same character. No.
But we'll park it at that. We'll just say that is a tough question, and if you guys want to put it in the comment section what you think is the dumbest character, by all means. If Red versus Blue is canon, I suppose Caboose is as thick as pig shit, so...
Although, Red vs. Blue, from what I've heard, Rooster Teeth has kind of moved it on and segregated it into its own universe. Like, it has its own canon and everything separated from Halo.
Right, okay. Well, either way, Caboose is still the machine. Anyway, next question by George Swaggington. Ultimate Halo, can I taste your pork chops? Yes, you can. Okay, moving on. So, King J 2000. Let's compose this.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Can I taste your pork chops? I guess so.
If you like pork chops, go ahead. No one's stopping you.
I thought it was some kind of innuendo, but yeah. I don't know. We might have to get him to clarify that in the future. Anyway, so Kingja 2000 asked us, do you think Halo 6 will keep trying to sell Locke as a new main character, or will it focus on Chief's story? God, it's one of these things where I just don't know. There was a time in Halo where you could sort of speculate and you could at least have a solid grounding as to what's going to happen. But now, just 343's writing just seems to wave all over the place. And then one thing that you could think is a very reasonable thing that had happened just doesn't happen. And then you get a pretty shit story like you do in Halo 5.
I was thinking, knowing Brian Reed's, writing style, Locke's gonna be killed off immediately in the first mission in some like unflattering way because the community didn't like him, like Julem Dama.
Yeah,
or he's gonna die in the comics.
I really hope he gets killed by a crawler. That'd be the kind of perfect revenge for him.
In all seriousness, like joking aside, what I suspect will happen is Locke will take a back seat as a character. Fireteam Osiris, I expect to be like very quickly swept under the rug and kind of put into the lore, like they'll have books and comic spin-offs, but I don't think we will see them in a main Halo game. Just because of the community's backlash. But Locke, I suspect he'll take a back seat as a character. He'll have some characterization, like Brian Reed attempting to make him less of a cardboard cutout. And basically then with Halo 7, what I suspect is how the community reacts to Locke in Halo 6. That will judge whether he's in Halo 7. Like, if Locke is still a terrible character in Halo 6, even while being kind of pushed to the sidelines, then I think they're just going to get rid of Locke and try again in a few years with another character, like try to make their own chief.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is as well, like, in Halo 6, you could have him as a support character, but if Locke has I think he has potential. I sort of saw past the shittiness that I thought was Halo Nightfall. I mean, it wasn't shit, it just wasn't like good. But I kind of saw Locke as a character who was a career, Marine or whatever you want to call him, a specialist. But he wasn't stubborn. He was part of Oni, and Oni always have this arrogant reputation, which he kind of did. But he was capable of learning. And he wasn't stubborn in that regard, and he was open to the world. And whereas his colleagues looked down on these Marines, and they thought they were superior, Locke was kind of the opposite way around. He was at first, but he grew to sort of warm to them, and he understood what they could bring, and that perhaps only military guys aren't always superior. So I do think there is potential. I just think 343 needs to get the shit together in that regard and just make him human and not just like, yes sir, or just not. Don't try making epic. Make him a person. Yeah, make him a person, not just like you said, not a cardboard cutout, not a shell. Make him a person, because that's what I wanted to see him as, a person who is capable of learning and helping the world and understanding Chief. And it could become very integral to Master Chief as a character, because Master Chief's lacking that support figure at the moment, and maybe he could confide in Locke as a friend. And it might sound stupid, but it could be a very, very interesting dynamic if done well. But that's the big thing, if it was done well, which can it, after looking at Halo 5 story?
No, it's like, the problem with Locke, I think, is, okay, so you're going to be introducing a new character. The first thing that we need, as kind of shallow as it sounds, you need to make them as exaggerated as possible. I think of even Sergeant Johnson, his first introduction, he was unrealistically witty, for the situation that they were in. Humanity's almost extinct, and he's like, we're gonna go kick their ass, and stuff like that. Like, he's all chip. Like, you've got to give us something to identify the character as. And the problem with not just Locke, but Osiris as a whole is nothing. I could not latch onto anything about them. Not a single, even if it was, let's say, subtle, I'm not going to be able to focus on subtleties in their characters in the middle of a firefight. I'm focusing on killing bad guys. That's what the cutscenes are for setting up the characters. And, the cutscenes didn't do jack all in Halo 5. So Locke, what I think I like about him in concept was around the time of Nightfall, I liked the idea of him being this Oni spook who was like very cold to everyone outside of his own squad. And then, this squad that he loves like a family, apparently, as we're told, they all kind of kill themselves selfishly on the Halo ring, leaving him the only survivor. And then in a lot of ways, you could say maybe some of the anger we saw in the trailers was directed at him, maybe indirectly blaming Chief, because it's like, well, if you never found this Halo ring and blew it up, then we would have never gone to it, and my squad would still be alive. I'm gonna take you down, you monster. But
I mean, I think that was something more underlying anyway. That's something that Hunt the Truth kind of misled us with. I mean,
oh god, yeah.
That's a whole different bombshell.
That's a whole different can of worms.
We'll go into that another day because just damn bitch, that was just no. So long story short, if Locke's done well, then he can be a good character, and maybe they will focus on him more, or maybe they will. I suspect they'll focus on Chief more, but maybe there might be some companionship there rather than these two squads of 4. So we'll see. But anyway, James Santola something. I'm sorry, James. I can't pronounce your name. But it's a question: what happens if you drive a tank into a grav lift? Well, there you go, James. So I hope that answers your question. Yes. So for the last question,
go
ahead.
Jack.
Yes.
I was gonna say a little side note. I know this is completely unrelated, but apparently 343's released one of their funny viral marketing little things for Warzone Firefight.
Yes, that was a good one actually. I did enjoy that.
Oh really? I haven't seen it yet.
Yes,
Something to do with a grunt?
Yes. Go have a look.
Okay.
I'll put a link in the description.
I will check it out after this.
Okay. This is still part of the podcast. So
really? Oh.
Let's go, guys. Let's go. You heard us conversating. Sorry about that. I do apologise. Damn it, Terassi, son of a bitch. Right, anyway. So, Unsorted Gaming asks, Ultimate Halo, many from the community talks. Okay, I think many people from the community talks
you
about
forgot
wanting
an
Forge.
entire word there.
Grammar, it's not a thing anymore. So many people from the Halo community talk about wanting Forge World back, and I myself think that Forge World is overrated. We already see a green massive open canvas called Alpine, so why would we need another? Waste of time if you ask me, and a Sanghelios Forge canvas would be 10 times better. Thoughts? Well, I don't think Forge World is underrated. I think for what it did at the time, it was something absolutely revolutionary in terms of Halo.
Oh, yeah.
Some of the geometry and the terrain was genuinely it gave you a lot to sort of work with, unlike Alpine. But I appreciate what Alpine tries to do. It tries giving you a lot without giving you too much at the same time. I think a lot of people just do it purely for nostalgia. I wouldn't say no to it, but like a Sanghelios Forge canvas would be a million times better.
Yeah, no, you just said Sanghelios Forge canvas, and I was immediately like, oh my god, like I can just visualize what it would look like. But yeah, no, I think Forge World is very much a product of its time, and a lot of people tend to forget that. That being said, it is impressive that they were able to squeeze a map of that size into the Halo Reach engine. You know, that must have taken a lot of kind of coaxing.
Oh, yeah.
To be able to get the engine to do that, which even Tom French, the brilliant things that he's doing with Halo 5's Forge, even he can't, get canvases as large as Forge World. And that's not, laziness. Like, a lot of people are thinking, they're just too lazy. No, it's like there are engine limitations. Like, Tom French is trying his hardest to get the canvases as big as possible for gamers. And I don't know, maybe it's something to do with 60 frames per second and the way the game renders things. Actually, I already know a lot of the reason why foliage and stuff looks so bad in Halo 5, why they've cut it down since the beta, is due to the 60 frames per second. You see Apex 7 in the Warzone mode, the foliage looks really low res in that compared to some of the stuff on the Alpine canvas. So I don't know, it might have something to do with render distances and stuff, why they can't stretch it out more, but I don't know. I just think Forge World is a product of its time, and I also think in the Halo 5 engine, making something on that scale would be difficult.
Yeah, I think it's not just about the size, because I do think most of the canvases are bigger than Forge World, but I think they're not as dense in terms of terrain and the options that Forge World gave you.
They're not as big, because you got to think about...
Sure?
You got to think about everything. I think in terms of land space, definitely the canvases we have now, there's more to work with and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm sort of getting at, yeah.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people also forget a majority of Forge World was just water, which that's also kind of cheap, I guess. They were able to get kind of a little bit of extra mileage just by making most of it just water, but... Yeah, I don't know. Like, Forge World, it could be cool if it comes back, but I definitely know it would not be the Forge canvas I'd use most regularly. I think I'd still stick with Parallax, just because that's blank and open.
There's more options to Parallax.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, guys, that about wraps it up for this week's podcast. If you have any more questions, make sure you leave them in the comments section below. Go subscribe to Late Night Gaming. It's an excellent Halo YouTube channel, and you will definitely be pleased with the content that Taras makes. You have been watching Ultimate Halo. Oh, dude, they're gonna subscribe. You know it.
You're making me blush.
Well, So, but you can subscribe here for more unfriggin' believable Halo content, and take it away, Jeff Steitzer.
Subscribe now for more
There we go.
unfriggin' believable Halo content.